Hello everyone, today we are going to explain the simple wealth formula, the basic formula you need to build wealth. My name is Charity Ezenwa Onako. I'm the founder of WealthyGen. We promote financial literacy awareness and teach women and young adults how to make the most of their money by making, managing it, and growing it. So, we are going to dive into explaining the simple wealth formula. And here it is. Wealth is equals to money times time times rate of return. Wealth is equals to money times time times rate of return. This is the simple wealth formula. But keep in mind that the concept of wealth building is a topic that usually brings up a lot of debates and usually promotes some get-rich-quick scheme. This formula is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a formula you can use to get rich right away. It's a very simple formula, very easy to understand, very easy to apply, but you just have to apply it to see results. Let's start with the basic concept. A common measure of one's wealth is the person's net worth. What that means is that for you to increase your wealth, you need to increase your net worth. So what then is net worth? How can you determine what your net worth is? Here's a simple way for you to calculate that. Your net worth is equals to your assets minus your liabilities. Net worth is equals to assets minus liabilities. Your assets are the things you own. They are resources of economic value that you own. Things like your cash, your real estate, your stocks, your bonds, your gold, and assets like that. Liabilities, however, are the things you owe. So if you owe something like student loans, your mortgage, your car notes, credit card debts, or other consumer loans, these are your liabilities. Now, take away the things you owe from the things you own. You get your net worth. In other words, your assets minus your liabilities will give you your net worth. So the question is, how can we increase our assets while keeping our liabilities low so that we can increase our net worth? That is the key to wealth building. And that is what the simple wealth formula tells us. Take a look at this again. The simple wealth formula simply says your wealth is equals to money times time times rate of return. This formula is simply telling us what we can do or how we can increase our assets so that we can increase our wealth. So what that means is that for you to increase your assets so that you can build wealth, you need money and you need time and you need rate of return. You need these three things. The thing is, for all of these elements, some of them you can control. Some of them you cannot control. And the best practice is to always focus on the things you can control, leaving out the things you cannot control, because you can basically control everything. So for you to build wealth, use this simple formula. Wealth is equals to money times time times rate of return, and focus only on the things you can control. So let's start with money. The very first thing you need to build wealth is to make money. Yes, making money is the very first step. Before you can begin to build wealth, you need to have some source of income or some money that you can invest. And that brings us to the concept of savings. Know your true money needs every period. When you know your true money needs every period, you can focus on spending on your needs and not on your wants. And when you do that, you have some money left over that you can invest. This you can control. You can pretty much control how much money you make and how much money you spend. So my tip for you today is to determine what your true money needs are. Once you determine what your true money needs are, you're going to focus on making more money and not necessarily on spending less, because these are your true money needs. If you spend less on them, you may likely jeopardize your well-being. So in order for you not to jeopardize your well-being, you're going to determine what your true money needs are and then focus on making more money so that when you make more money, you're going to have a lot more left for you to invest. Once you have your savings, that is your money, it is time for you to invest them and allow them some time. Our second element in the wealth formula is therefore time. There is an adage that says, wealth comes from time in the market, not time in the market. Wealth comes from time in the market, not time in the market. What this means is that when you invest your money, allow it some time for it to grow. This is why this wealth formula is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Your investments need some time in the market for them to grow. Now, there may be some market ups and downs, some fluctuations in the market, right? But these fluctuations will flatten out over time. Now, this is one element you cannot control because no one can possibly control time. But you can control how you take advantage of time to build wealth. My tip for you, therefore, is for you to start investing right away, as soon as possible. In fact, start investing today. When you invest now, you're giving your investments the time it needs to grow and compound. But if you wait till later, you're losing that time now that your investments could have used to grow. The third element in our wealth formula is the rate of return. This is simply the net gain or net loss on your investments and is expressed as a percentage of your total investments. Now, there's this relationship I want you to pay attention to. Is the relationship between the returns and risk. Now, assets that have very high risk will typically pay high returns, and assets that have very low risk will typically pay lower returns. So it's important to pay attention to this as you examine the rates of returns on your investments. Now, the rates of return on investments is one element that you do not have control of. And because you do not have control of this, my tip for you today is to focus on managing your risk exposure. And you can do this by diversifying your investments. So instead of investing or focusing your investments on one asset class or one industry, spread your investments across different asset types and different industries. And when you do this, you are also spreading your risk across all these different asset types. Now, let's go back to our wealth formula. We have your money, you have your time, and you have your rate of return. So your wealth is equals to money times time times rate of return. So after you save some money and you invest your money, you're allowing some time for it to grow and compound using the interest rate. You will be increasing your assets, you will be increasing your net worth, and you will be building wealth. That is our simple wealth formula. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, share it with your best friends and subscribe if you've not already done so. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.